to be learning about artist Andy Warhol. Andy Warhol was an American painter, printmaker, and filmmaker. He worked in the style of pop art, so that's the style we're working with this week. Warhol's works focus on celebrity culture, so famous people like actors, actresses, and singers, and advertisement. So trying to show off a product like food or something else. The Andy Warhol Museum in his hometown of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, holds a large permanent collection of his art and other art objects. This is the largest museum in the United States that is dedicated to only one artist. Andy Warhol was born on August 6, 1928, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Warhol went to college for commercial art. After college, he moved to New York City and began a career in magazine illustration and advertising. During the 1950s, Warhol became famous for his shoe advertisements, like this one here with a high heel. A music record company hired him to design album covers and promotional materials for singers and bands. Warhol's work shows a casual approach to art making in which chance plays a role and mistakes and unintentional marks are accepted. So sometimes he may have made a mistake on his artwork, but that was okay because it was a really great part of his artwork. The resulting art is often full of imperfections, smudges, and smears, and you can find them on the paintings, like here with this cat painting. You can see some smudges with the ink. But he said this is okay because it's part of the art. In his book, Popism, Warhol writes, when you do something exactly wrong, you always turn up something. This here is a work of his, and it is Campbell's tomato soup. This is something that you can find in the store, but this piece that he created here is called 10 Cans, and it was created in 1962. And you can see here, there is 10 cans, and it is various different types of soup, but the can itself keeps repeating. This is called repetition. And you can see more examples of repetition here with this green Coca-Cola bottles painting that he created in 1962. And the same here with our 3 Coke bottles, which he created in 1962 as well. Now look at this one. This is important for this week's assignment, and so is the repetition. That means you see an object more than once. He used colors on occasion that weren't realistic. So these colors are colors that you can see in real life, but with the objects that he painted, these were colors that these objects normally would not be. So if you go to the store and you look for a can of tomato soup by Campbell's, you can't find an orange and blue can. But he did this often, of course, to draw attention. Now look how it repeats itself. Now this is something very close to what we'll be making, because we're going to follow the colors, meaning we're going to make some artwork that has some unrealistic colors, and it's going to be repeating itself just like it is here. By the 1970s, Andy Warhol was quite the entrepreneur. In addition to making art, he also made films, and he co-founded Interview magazine and published books, including The Philosophy of Andy Warhol. He was very popular in New York City's art community, and he was friends with artists and musicians. And he was friends with another very famous artist we've learned about, Keith Haring. And of course, he was also friends with John Michael Basquiat and Lou Reed. In 1983, Warhol created his Endangered Species series of prints, and these were commissioned by art dealers Ronald and Freda Fieldman. In the series, Warhol focuses on animals from the list of the endangered species, like the panda bear or the bald eagle or an elephant. In 1984, Warhol began a series where he replicated 500-year-old masterpieces from the Renaissance in his own unique style. All right, boys and girls. So to go ahead and start off, we're going to need a piece of paper. And then from there, you'll need your basic art supplies, which is your pencil and the supply that you choose to work with. Okay? But let's go ahead and start off slow here. So we're going to go ahead and go through the steps of folding our paper to help us make the 4 sections for our Andy Warhol inspired work. So first, let's start off by doing this. I'm going to put my paper on a flat surface and I'm going to grab one side and I'm going to line it up very carefully. And then I'm going to fold just like this. Okay. All right, that's one time. I need to fold one more time. I'm not opening up my paper. I'm going to leave it like this in half. Now next, I'm going to fold it one more time like I mentioned. Watch how I do it. I'm going to grab this and line it up with the edge. And I'm going to press and crease this line so it can be nice. Right? And I can see it very well when I open up my paper again. Okay, so now I should have this. Okay, I'm going to grab it and open it up. Now, can you see the 4 sections that we're working with? I hope you can. You should see 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so now the next part is to draw what we're going to draw inside of our sections. Now we're going to be making a pizza, so we're going to go ahead and draw the pizza. Draw 1 pizza slice in each section. So that means 4 slices of pizza. All right, so let's go ahead and draw that together. Now to do this, you're going to need to draw a triangle. So I'm going to start off by doing that. A triangle. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and just trace it with my black marker so you all can see a whole lot better. All right, I'm going to draw my triangle. There, that's 1. 2. 3. And 4. Okay, now I'm going to add details to my pizzas. And I'm going to do so by adding my crust. I'm going to make a little curved line on the top of each triangle. And this is my crust. Oops. There we go. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and draw the following. I'm going to draw my pepperonis on my pizzas, and I want them to be the same. Okay. What this is called is repetition. So that means the same thing over and over again. So if I put a pepperoni on this spot here, I need to do it on the same spot on the other pizza. It's okay if it's a little bit bigger, but it needs to be in the same spot. Okay? And draw pepperoni up here. Remember, repetition. Same thing over and over again. And draw some details that look a little bit like cheese. And I'm gonna draw one more pepperoni here on the bottom. And I'm just gonna add some veggies. I'm gonna make those peppers, green bell peppers. Oops, can you tell what I forgot here? On this one, up top, a pepperoni. There we go. All right, so there's my 4 pizza slices. And with my 4 pizza slices, I'm now ready to do the following. So let's look at this little snippet here on the very top right corner. You're gonna see an example of Andy Warhol's work, right? We see a drawing of Marilyn Monroe, which we talked about at the beginning. And you can see how he uses different colors in the background on each picture. It's the same picture, right? The same outlines of Marilyn Monroe, but it's different colors. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing here with our pizza. So let's go ahead and do that together. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the supply that I'm using. I'm gonna be using markers for this one because I feel that they're very bold. So I'm gonna open up my giant crayon that holds up my markers. And here we go. All right, so watch as I color this, okay? What we're gonna aim for in this artwork is that the colors that we use for our pizza are not the colors that a pizza is in real life. And you're gonna see what I mean right now. Because have you ever seen a pink pizza? Right, we're gonna work like that. So we're gonna do that together, but watch as I do this, okay? Ready? Let us begin. I'm gonna go ahead and color my pizza very quickly here, and then you'll see it all done. All right, boys and girls, so this is my pizza colored in one section, and of course, it is not a color that you would see pizza be in real life. Now, pay attention to what I'm going to be doing next, because this is going to help you with deciding what colors should we color the rest of the pizzas next. Well, this is what you're going to be doing. Pay attention to the pizza. The pizza mostly is the color pink. Okay, right here. If I hop to the side, boop, this right here, this pizza will now be green because the background on this one is green. So now my pizza over here will be green. And that means if this pizza over here was pink, the background now is going to be pink. So it's opposite. If the pizza is pink, now the background on this corner will be pink, and the pizza on this corner will be green. Okay? So I'm going to color it, and you're going to see what I mean. Okay, boys and girls, my pizza is done. So you see what happened? I switched colors. So background was green here, and the pizza was pink. So I switched. Now the pizza is green, and the background is pink. Okay, now the next color I'm going to be using is orange and blue. These colors complement each other, right? So I'm going to be using these colors, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did here, that I flipped. I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to focus on coloring this and this now. Okay? Pay attention to how I do it. girls, we're all done with our pizza pop art. I'm going to call it that. And this is what it looks like when it is all done. It is colorful, it is bold and bright. Remember that when you're working on your artwork, that you want to be, of course, very neat, and you want to be very clean with your artwork, but you also want it to be very colorful, and you want it to have a lot of good purpose, which all of you do a wonderful job at doing. But just remember that. And of course, remember that it needs to be complete. So make sure that you fill everything in and you don't leave blank spaces everywhere, right? Make sure that this is what it looks like, complete and neat. And everyone's, of course, is going to have probably some different colors, and everyone is going to have a different style of drawing, which is beautiful, right? That's a wonderful thing, because not one artist draws the same, right? So make sure that you know that, okay? So your artwork is beautiful, and remember that as long as you keep trying and trying every time, you will get better and better. All right, so let's look here. We have our pizza drawing. We have a pink pizza and an orange pizza and a blue pizza and a green pizza. Remember, these are colors that are not colors that we see in real life. We have our pink pizza here. I went in a diagonal line and I switched the colors. So now the pink pizza is over here. It's going to be the pink background instead. And since the background here was green, now the pizza's green. Okay? And if I go to the orange and blue one, my pizza's blue here. So my background's blue over here. And if my background is orange here, my pizza is orange over here. Okay? And that's how it looks all done. Now, I may have some questions from some of you saying, can I change the food? You may change the food if you feel that you would like to. You can change it to a donut, but if you do, it needs to be donuts, one donut in each section. So that's 4 donuts. Or if you want to make a burger, or even if you want to go into the drawing of animals, you can do that too. But remember, it needs to repeat itself. So you'll have 4 of the same object that you're going to be drawing. But of course, if you would love to stay with the pizza, you may. Okay, boys and girls? That is it for this week. I hope you enjoyed learning about Andy Warhol, and I hope you enjoyed learning how to create your very own pop art piece. All right? Have a wonderful week. We'll see you on Zoom on Wednesday. Alrighty, boys and girls. Bye.